Hey there, I am going to teach you travel tips to help you pack for 2 different climates in only one carry-on suitcase. For spring break this year, if you are going to a beach vacation spot or if you're going on a ski trip, these tips are going to help you fly and pack for both of those climates. And the number 1 tip is to check the weather at your location before you pack. That's going to do 2 things for you. It's going to help you know which shoes to pack and what outer layers you will need for that trip. But what can you plan now before you can check the weather? If you're flying from a cold weather climate, I have 4 tips of what you can do with your jacket. When we parked in the airport in 20-degree temperatures in Washington, D.C., we left our down jacket in the car. It was very difficult, so stay with me. Waiting for the bus was the hardest part. Therefore, we wore our sock hat or beanie and then our gloves. Those are easier to pack, or you can just stuff them into any little pocket of space in that carry-on suitcase when you get into the airport. For that tip, you would wear 1 or 2 t-shirts underneath a cashmere sweater or a fleece that can be tied around your waist if you get warm inside the airplane or stuffed down by your feet. Tip number 2 is to pack a trash bag in your jacket pocket. You're going to have it, like I stuffed my jacket in between my suitcase handles when we went to Colorado in the winter. And when I got on the airplane and put my suitcase in the overhead bin, I pulled out that little trash bag and stuffed my alternative down jacket into that trash bag. And then when everybody gets their suitcases in the overhead bins, you can stuff your jacket up there or just stuff it down beside your personal item bag. And tip number 3 is with my 2-wheel carry-on that I used to travel with, which many of you like to travel with, I would just stuff that down jacket in that outer pocket. My blue one that's 20 inches, I can't do that with the outer pocket. All right, tip number 4 is to wear a thin rain jacket with a hood that can cinch. Because if you are layered up properly in winter climates, then you're going to be able to wear that rain jacket over those layers, but it's going to be a thin layer to stash inside your carry-on suitcase when you get into the airport. And then when you get to a warmer climate vacation spot, you have a really thin rain jacket that can protect you from rain and wind if it is windy there. Not necessarily cold, but it does protect you to have a hood that cinches if it's blowing rain. Another packing tip for 2 climates is to pack less weight that will keep you warm. I learned this in Colorado. If you are new to frigid temperatures, invest in a thermal base layer that you can wear under your outerwear layers. And my tip is to buy some on Amazon or Walmart. Then you're going to wear a fitted fleece so that the cold air doesn't blow up with a lot of loose outer layers that people in the South like to wear when they go to a winter vacation spot. Those 2 thin layers are efficient. They are also easy to pack because they will take up less space if you must pack in only a carry-on suitcase. Another travel tip is to rent your cold weather clothes. You can rent base layers, even the outer jackets and fleece and boots for $8, thermal socks. I have a video, I will put it up here in the iCards. You can come back to it later. Here's what I would pack if my vacation was going to be in 2 different climates. I would pack layers of coordinating vacation outfits. The colors, the patterns, they will all be able to be worn more than once and with different bottom pieces. I can add layers if I am in a colder climate, or I can take them off if it's a warmer temperature place. You can pack or wear water-resistant pants, like if you're going to Iceland, Alaska. These are lined or not lined. Some of them are lined with fleece, and that will keep you warm by only packing 1 item. These can be worn with t-shirts, these can be worn with a sweater, a cashmere sweater to a restaurant, and they can be worn with almost every color and more than once. I prefer the ones that are not lined because I can pack a pair of leggings and wear those leggings with a t-shirt in a warmer climate. And then I can wear these over my leggings if it is colder, although the base layer that's thermal, that was more efficient for me than leggings. These pants can be rolled up and worn as capris. That is the best Tip, you're wearing them once and then wearing them twice in a different way and for a different location's temperature. I just shared this swim cover up that looks like a shirt. It does cinch up to make it 3/4 length sleeves, but you could wear them longer with some layers underneath and not have to pack that swim cover up. It can be worn over leggings, it can be worn over jeans, but that's a fun little travel hack if you want to try it. Another classic tip is to wear your heaviest shoes on the airplane. We like these if we're going to be hiking or if it's going to rain because they are water resistant or waterproof, and they're not that bulky, but I would wear those with jeans or with khaki pants, even if I'm going to a restaurant in Montana during the beautiful no humidity summer. These are another pair of shoes that are waterproof and are very comfortable for walking around. Another shoe that is versatile because of its color is this one, and Echo makes sneaker type soles in all of their shoes, so I have many of them. Think about those shoes that can be worn if it's going to rain during some of your excursions in the warmer climates or the colder temperatures. If I'm flying to a warmer climate from a cold climate, I'm going to pack 2 pairs of shorts, khaki colored and navy blue color, for coordinating with either of the shoes that I have packed. You may pack sandals that are thin to pack, but they're also going to be able to be worn with several of your vacation outfits if you're going to a warmer climate. This pattern is no longer available, but they do have white, brown, and black leather. When you land in a warmer climate after all of your worries have melted away, there are 3 hacks for when you land. Number 1, you're going to pack your sandals, maybe your swim cover up and your swimsuit, and a pair of shorts in a compression cube in the bottom of your personal item bag. If you do like a tote bag, it will also give that more structure being at the base of the bag. Compression cubes are great because they have 2 zippers, and that means they're going to compress the air in between all of your clothes and make it somewhat like a book. A tip is you do not want to overstuff it. I did not pack the shorts in here or the other sandal, but you can see if I did, it would make it even tighter like a book. That's what you want. You don't want to overstuff it because then the compression doesn't really help you. That tip will also help you if your room is not ready, if you've flown to a beach resort. Number 2 is to use the same travel hack as we used for our jacket when we left those colder temperatures. You're going to pack a little trash bag inside that compression cube with your vacation outfit. And you're just going to throw your jeans and maybe your heavy airport shoes inside that trash bag. And you would use that hack if there's no space where that compression cube was in your personal item bag. Sometimes those heavy shoes are too big for that bag. And then you can just throw that baggie in the closet of your resort room, and you do not have to wear them until you return to the colder climates. A third thing that I have done when we visited Hawaii from the frigid temperatures of Virginia is I just draped my shorts that I was going to change into over my compression cubes inside my carry-on suitcase. And when I got to the rental car area in Hawaii, after feeling those trade winds, I just opened that suitcase, took out the shorts, and then draped my jeans over those compression cubes. And then my sandals were in the outer edges of that suitcase. For flying to a warmer climate, you're going to only pack the shoes that you need for that temperature. So I would pack sandals, a sneaker maybe shoe like mine that were water resistant, or flip-flops if I am going to the beach. For colder climates, we're going to pack shoes that can be worn with socks or thicker socks, but then also thin socks that are no show maybe that could also be worn if I'm wearing shorts with those sneakers. Does that make sense? Here's one of the most important tips for packing multi-coordinating vacation outfits, and that is your shirts will coordinate with all of your bottom pieces. You're going to wear those outfit pieces maybe more than once. So when you're picking out fabrics, you want thin fabric that can dry easily if you do want to wash it in the sink of your hotel. I do like Tide sink packets. They usually come in the little travel size ones, and they are flat with liquid inside them for a sink, and they'll wash like maybe 3 or 4 shirts. If you've packed a navy blue pair of shorts and a khaki pair of shorts, then all of those shirts are going to mix and match with those. If you do the math, you have 2 shorts plus 4 shirts, you're going to have 8 outfits easily. And here are my hacks for packing multiple outfits in only a carry-on suitcase. Number 1, I only pack 2 pairs of shoes for that weather. Number 2, I find 4 tops that will blend and match those shoes that I've packed. Number 3, I will pack solid color shirts, maybe long sleeve shirts or a sweater that's solid colored. And number 4, I will pack 1 or 2 bottom pieces if it's colder temperatures, but if I'm flying to warmer temperatures, I'm going to pack 3 bottom pieces and then maybe a dress. Packing for 2 different climates can be so tricky because 50 degrees and sunny can feel warm and refreshing, especially to my Minneapolis friends. 50 degrees and blowing wind and gray skies can be frigid, in my opinion, being from Houston and originally from Georgia. So another vacation planning tip for 2 climates is to think of your outer layers that you're going to wear. You can pack a cashmere sweater that does hold in the warmth if you're wearing especially a base layer, and especially if it's a thermal base layer. You're going to think about the hoodie or a sweatshirt jacket that you may wear in the airport. I would say to save space and just to not be pushing your head forward inside the airplane, to not pack a sweatshirt jacket with a hood or a sweatshirt with a hood. Just pack a hat for that colder climate if you're going there. Being from the South, we think that if I layer up under a sweatshirt, it's going to be good, and that is true sometimes, but a sweatshirt is so bulky. So when you're planning to pack for 2 different climates in only a carry-on suitcase, you're thinking of those thinner outer layers that will still keep you warm. If you want to pack a cardigan, that's a great way to have different outfits in colder climates, and you can take it off and tie it around your waist. But I want you to think before you pack, is the cardigan going to be super long and knocking stuff in the airport where people's stains are? Is it going to get caught or trying to get situated in your airplane seat? Is it too bulky of a cardigan? I just want my thoughts that have gone into my packing when I've made so many mistakes. I want those thoughts to just run through your head like a big old plate of pasta in Rome, Italy, so that you've thought of those what ifs before you pack. And that's going to take the stress out because you stress less beforehand. If you are new here, be sure to say hello. I have 2 more travel hacks for the end of your vacation for each climate. If you are going to a cold weather climate, remember to pack a trash bag for the return trip, because you might have wet clothing from melted snow, and then you might have wet clothing like swimsuits because you got in the hot tub in 30-degree weather. For packing toiletries in 2 different climates, I was thinking of vitamin C serum for under your moisturizer if you're going to dry, really cold temperatures, and then sunscreen. Supergoop has a little bitty one, but I would just invest in buying it there at the resort and spend $15 on a little bottle if that helps you, if you do not have space in your liquids bag in your carry-on suitcase for a travel size suntan lotion or sunscreen. And number 2, if you are flying to a warm weather climate vacation spot, you're going to pack a trash bag for those wet swimsuits and maybe your wet swim cover-up from that last day. And it will help keep the other clothes in your carry-on suitcase dry. All right, if you need a video on how I packed 8 outfits in 1 rolling under the seat bag, not in the overhead bin suitcase, I will link that video up there and in the description paragraph below. It's right above the t-shirts that I designed for you. So you'll just click that first sentence where it says show more or read more at the end, and you'll see all of my links to everything I've talked about in this video, with some other packing tip videos as well. By the way, I have a really helpful video if you are worried about not having overhead bin space for your carry-on suitcase. There are some important travel tips that I talk about in that video. I will link it down here in the description paragraph.